So here's my promise to you. Everything that you hear come out of my mouth is going to show you how to make money. But most of all, it's not going to show you how to become a millionaire for the money. It's going to show you how to make the money so you can be the change that you want to see in the world. I got your back. Let's do this. Hey, you guys, I wanted to jump in here for 2 seconds and just share a little inspiration for you that my husband and I were talking about this morning, and that is this conversation about asking for what it is that you want. You know, you are the only person who knows that that the promise on your heart. Like, you're the only person who knows why you want to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. And the thing is that so many people around you don't understand why you have the drive or the desire to create the difference in the world that you do. And so they want to protect you, and they want to tell you to slow down or tell you not to go after what it is that you're going after. All that does is I don't know, it's like it almost creates this self-doubt inside your head. So I wanted to share this with you because I was sharing this with my husband this morning. Some of you guys know that I'm deep into scripture. So not deep into religion, although I am Christian. I am deep into scripture, and I love it if you're spiritual, not religious. I don't care what you are, but I am into scripture. And so I was sitting on that love sack over there, which Johnny loves, that love sack over there. And it was like 4:30 this morning. And I'm reading my scripture, and I had this incredible love for my husband. Like, I had this moment where I was like it was like an overwhelming love. And he was sleeping, and my son was sleeping. They were actually cuddled in bed together. And I had this moment with Spirit, with God, that was like, you know, so much gratitude in my heart. If you see my Instagram, I was showing gratitude videos this morning. And I had so much gratitude in my heart that I have the husband I have. Now let's back up to how I got the husband. I cleared my calendar. I dated 5 times a week. I was so committed that I would say to my girlfriends that, like, we would go out for drinks and go for dinner, and I would say, I'm happy to make this plan with you, but if I get a date, I'm going to take the date because that's my priority right now. And a lot of people would say, well, what are your friends not your priority? Your family not your priority? Oh my God, let's just talk about growing businesses. Oh, it's not worth putting in that much work because I've got a family. And I'm like, you're not getting it, because you're going to struggle no matter what. And so the question is, do you want to struggle with or without? Right? Do you want to struggle with or without? And so I struggled when I was trying to find my husband. I struggled with time. I struggled with the fact that I was dating men that I knew were not my husband. And I had a coach, thank God, that told me that I got to keep dating these men that Shanda knew was not my husband, because they weren't, successful enough or tall enough, or they weren't an entrepreneur. The rules that we put up because we somehow know how to get to where we really want to go, which is not true, right? You've never been where you want to go. And this is why coaches are so important. But ladies, men, when we say things like, I know what I want in my husband, great. Know what you want in your husband or your wife or your business or your life. But the truth is that all of us need help to get there if we want to get there faster. If we want to take a longer time, then take your own sweet time. But I don't know about you, but I don't feel like I'm getting any younger, and I want to experience more of life. And so I cleared my calendar. I dated 5 days a week. I dated men that I knew were not my husbands. And guess what happened when my coach said the unimaginable, that I had to keep spending my time with these men until I couldn't stand the way they chewed. And so you can imagine what that did to my intellect, because I was like, I'm running a business, I'm growing a business, I'm trying to find my husband, I'm getting older, I want to have kids, and I'm like, why am I wasting my time with these people? But I followed the coaching, and what happened was I actually started to fall in love with multiple men. And I know that sounds really weird. What I mean by I fell in love with humanity. And because I had to sit there, per my coach, and have dinner with these men that initially were too tall, too short, too fat, not successful enough, had a lazy eye, whatever, the stuff that I would make up, because she made me sit there and still be with them, like dine with them and stuff, I started to say to myself, well, if I have to be here, I might as well enjoy my company. And that's what opened my heart. And then when I met my husband, I was wide open, and I had the same thought about him. He was too short, too skinny, too this, too that. But by the end of 2 dates in one day, he said, I think we have something here, and I got to give this a shot. And he said, I'm not going to ask you to come off the market yet, but like, I'm going to stop dating. Long story short, we ended up, being together. We ended up committing to each other 90 days later. It took me about 3 weeks to commit. And then 3 months after that, we were pregnant with our son and found out while we were in Prague on a vacation. And now I go to my business, and I have this moment this morning. And my marriage, by the way, has not been all like bells and whistles and romantic. In fact, my husband used to bring flowers to me before he was my husband. Every single week when he would come see me, he would bring me flowers. And, I wish he still did that. I won't get into how I ruined that, but I actually ruined that. And now I have flowers delivered to our house every 10 days. So it's different. So now he does things like brings me purses, which is amazing because he was the guy who never got out of a tracksuit when I met him. And now he dresses amazing. And he's like everything that I've ever wanted, both spiritually and physically and mentally. He's incredible. But we grew together. And we both changed. So this conversation, like, you want to find somebody who's perfect? Well, you're going to change. You're different together than you were apart. But now let's take it back to this morning. I had this not only love for him, but that love opened up this realization. I'm about to go into one of the biggest stretches I've ever gone into in my business. I'm the girl who takes, the last week of every month off. I take a flex week. I take the weekends off. I'm actually about to cut some videos today. That's why Johnny's here. And we're getting ready for a 7-day revenue challenge, which means we're going to teach people how to work and get above their emotions to create revenue. And my personal goal, it might not be the attendees' personal goals, but my personal goal is to help people make money before Black Friday. That's my personal intention with this 7-day revenue challenge. But with that, not only am I doing a 7-day revenue challenge for people for free, I'm also going right from that into 2 back-to-back events, into right after those events, into a 3-day virtual event, and into, I can't even tell you how many VIP days after that. And I don't think I've actually worked this hard. Not right this second, but when I go into this 18-day stretch, I don't think I've ever worked. So I share this with you because the realization I had this morning was I've always known that work is a privilege because I remember when I couldn't work in this country and I just wanted a visa or something. I'm from Canada, I live in America now. I just wanted a visa or something that would allow me to work and make my own money. And now I have that. And hopefully you have the ability to work in your country, but going on I don't have to go on an 18-day stretch. And so what happens is people start coming to you and start coming to me, and they're like, do you really want to do this? Do you really, because I don't have to, right? And I see people who have to work like that and don't, right? Because they don't believe that it'll come together. And so they don't want to put the effort in, which I remember being that way too, by the way. And so it isn't until it's not about you and it's all about helping people does that turn over. But I had this moment where I was like, I've been talking about whys a lot. And, my why right now is I don't believe that we have a lot of months in front of us that are as easy as they are right now. I know that sounds crazy, but we have a momentum window right now where we can help entrepreneurs get on top of their business before I believe the economy is going to get a lot rougher. And it would be nice if you already had a buyer's list and you knew what you were going to sell and you knew how to package and price. It would be an advantage to you if you were an entrepreneur. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is I want to buy my mom a really nice house. And my dad. And even though I do have the money in the bank to do that, like, I don't know, there's something, I don't know if you've ever had an experience, maybe some of you guys, you can comment. Have any of you guys had to take care of someone in your life, like a sister, a brother, a nephew, a parent? It's weird, but it like, I'm responsible for them now. You know what I mean? Like, and not for like a day, a week, like having my child was less pressure than like taking care of my parents. You know what I mean? Like that just feels like, it just feels like a forever thing, even though like it isn't, they're not going to be around forever, but it feels like, okay, like they're adults. Like there's a lot that goes into taking care of them. And so I'm like, I want to be way ahead. And then the third thing is like, again, I don't know what's going to happen in the market. And even though I'm comfortable, that's like one of the worst places to be, is comfortable, because it has you not show up as big as you can to help other people, and nobody knows what the future holds, right? We don't know if another pandemic's going to come through, whether it's real or not real. Everybody has so many different opinions out there. Nobody really knows, or whether the economy is going to globally sink. Like nobody knows. Like nobody actually knows. And so that has a level of uncertainty that I'm like, I listen to the biggest doomsday, because if I can shore up my business and my family for that worst case scenario, which is, by the way, how I've got myself unstuck everywhere in my life to actually show up and take action, is I think about the worst case scenario. And if I can handle that worst case scenario, then I can sleep well at night. And so I actually think about what's the worst, who's saying the worst things possible. And I want to shore my life up to that so that I'm not naive, because I think like I've lived most of my life completely naive, and because of it, I've been successful in some ways because I didn't overthink things. And also because of it, I've also probably had more bumps and scrapes and bruises than I needed to if I would have just, pulled my head out of the ground and got prepared. So that's my why. So I don't know what your why is right now, but, I thought to myself, what a privilege. Like God said to me this morning, you're so lucky. Like why you're going to work like this is because of these reasons. And you're so lucky that you're clear about that nobody can walk up to you, Shanda, and say, why are you working this hard? Because the truth is I took July off, and for 7 years now, I've taken the last week of every month off. I've taken weekends off. I've probably worked 20 weekends, 25 weekends in 6-7 years. Okay. I've taken almost all Decembers off in the last 7 years. So that equates to about 5.5 months a year. That's almost half the year in time off I've taken. But yet, isn't it interesting when we shore ourselves up to I call it a tempo, an endurance race of work, that it's like, ooh, do I really want to do that? Ooh, can I handle that? And I'm having some of those same conversations. And I can't wait to report to you along the way how I am handling that, because I'll be honest with you. But I hope that this encourages you to really just ask for what you want and just tune everybody out. They're like tests that come in that to double check, like, are you sure you want to go to this next level in your life? And the answer really is, yes, you do. All right, you guys, comment below. I'd just love to hear from you. Did this help at all? Did anything stand out? Was this like the perfect thing for you to hear, or am I just rambling? All right, I'll talk to you soon.